Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us and being here with us. My name is Mohammed Al-Shammari. I lead product marketing here at Sci-Fi, and I'm joined by my colleague, Donna.
Hey everyone, good evening everyone. This is Donna and I'm an onboarding specialist at Sci-Fi. So it's really nice for you to take the time and joining our masterclass for today. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Donna, for taking time. I know you're quite busy with a lot of onboarding a lot of our customers,
yeah.
and I appreciate your time being here today. And welcome everyone to this monthly masterclass session. And whether you're a existing customer of ours or you're new to Sci-Fi, I wanted to give you a quick intro if you've not heard of Sci-Fi before. Sci-Fi is a Saudi fintech company licensed by the Saudi Central Bank, SAMA, and we offer a unified corporate wallet that helps businesses of all sizes manage company spend and basically manage everyone you pay, including your suppliers and partners, as well as your employees, and managing per diem, petty cash, and all your spend management needs. And Sci-Fi is like I mentioned, is a corporate wallet, and also on the other side of that same coin is a platform where you, as a finance manager or you as an accounting manager, you get full visibility and full control over your spend, and you do that through issuing corporate cards, whether virtual corporate cards or physical corporate cards, and we'll get into all of that as actually in this session. And you get a real time view of how these cards are being used. And a quick intro about our masterclass session as well. If this is your first time with us in these sessions, our masterclass series is a monthly session lasting less than 30 minutes, where we focus on a couple of features and a specific use case. So we can keep it as practical as possible, so we can more clearly show you, if you've not seen what Wi-Fi can do for you, you can join these sessions and see how you can get value out of those. And also for our existing customers to learn how to get even more value out of their experience with Sci-Fi, whether that's with the new features that we'll be covering in some of these sessions or existing features that we're talking about. And quick housekeeping before we jump into today's session: you're welcome to submit your questions in the Q&A box, which you will see on the right side of the screen. Next to that Q&A box as well, you'll see the polls section. And through the masterclass today, we will launch one or two polls to get some insight from everyone here with us today. And we will also get to the Q&A later at the end of the session, once we're done with the demo with Donna. And after the session, you'll receive a recording, and you can find the session on YouTube, and you can share it with any teammate who you want to share it with that they might not have been able to attend. And once the session ends, the screen will automatically prompt you to fill a survey. If you take up to 2 to 3 minutes of your time, we would really appreciate your feedback and understand your rating for this session, so we can improve these monthly master classes. So, with all that said, without taking too much of our time today, I want to bring in Donna to this conversation. Donna, what are we covering today?
So inshallah, in our demo for today, we will be covering cards, how to issue a card, how to add restrictions to your card, how to actually choose whether you want a physical card or a virtual card. At the same time, we will take a look on how to view your expenses. How to attach receipts, how to download reports through the platform, and finally, we will be covering the approval policy, how to actually make an approval policy based on your own needs in the platform. So we will take a look on all of this
Yeah,
during our demo, inshallah, for today.
wonderful. And
Uh,
speaking of cards and speaking of companies, how they spend management, I'm curious.
mm.
how our audience who is with us today, we launched a poll, which you will see on the top right corner of the screen.
Okay.
How does your company currently manage employee spend?
How do you manage it without sci-fi?
And so I know a lot of companies, including friends and siblings of
Mm,
mine who I spoke to about how they manage spend in their organizations. And often I hear it's one single corporate card that gets passed around the entire company, and it's a lengthy approval policy
mm.
or process to get access to that card. And I can't imagine the lack of visibility and control for a CFO or a finance manager who wants to see who is spending what on this card. It's really hard to do it with a
Mm. It
shared
is.
single company card.
Yeah, some others actually managing their finance via WhatsApp, which can be chaotic, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is.
So
Okay.
go ahead and interact, and you can vote for the option that is most applicable to your company. How does your company currently manage employee spend? Is it a shared company card? I see about 66% of our audience today is a mix of all three. So a mix of shared company card plus giving cash advances to
Mm.
employees and then reimbursing them, or personal reimbursement. So you spend as an employee, you spend out of your own pocket and you get that reimbursed. And we all know that can sometimes take quite a while, right, to get that reimbursed.
Yeah, a mix of all three, shared company card.
So if you've not yet voted, we're going to close the poll in about 10 seconds. But Donna, quickly, what do you think of this? What does this create if you have a mix of all three? What does this create for you as a CFO?
Well, when it comes to actually using the same shared company card, for example, between 5 employees, I can't imagine the amount of messiness and headache that you will actually experience, because you have this lack of visibility. You can't actually know which one of your employees is the one who's spending this expense or making this transaction, and it can be very, very hard to manage. So cash advances to employees, I mean, you will have to deal with paperworks, and it can take time, and it can be very, very chaotic. So personal reimbursements, also personal reimbursements, you will have to deal with a lot of paperworks, and yeah, a lot of confusion at the same time. So you will have a lack of visibility. This is the main issue that you will actually have, or you will actually experience.
Yeah, that lack of visibility can be really painful.
Yeah, yeah. And it can be risky, by the way, if more than one employee, if you have one shared card, it can be actually considered a high risk, because you
Yeah.
don't know where the expenses are going. So, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
We will fix that with sci-fi,
yeah, and for
inshallah.
everyone
Yeah.
who's still joining us,
Mm,
thank you for joining us. I see a few more people still popping in. Thank you for being
mm,
here with us. You you can add questions and leave questions for us to address at the end of the session on the Q&A box on the right side of the screen. If you would like to interact with the poll before we close it, you can also find that next to the Q&A box on the right side, top right corner of the screen.
mm.
And yeah,
Yeah, I can
with
see the
that, let's
questions.
dive in. Let's dive in
Yeah.
and let's
Let's take a look. Yeah. Okay.
take a look
Just
at
let
what you
me
have to show us.
share my screen. Just a moment. Okay. So, can you actually see my screen right now?
Yes, and for everyone who would like to see a bit more clearer view, you can go ahead and expand your screen into full screen. You can find that option in the bottom right corner of your view.
Okay. So, let's dive in. So, first thing, let's say that, for example, you have funded your main wallet and you have added your employees to the platform as users. So, we will go to the main thing. Okay. So, now you want to issue cards for them. So, you want to use the platform. So, first of all, you will go to cards. I want, for example, to create a card to one of my employees who's managing, for example, a project. or office supplies, let's say. Okay, so I want to create a card. I will click on create card. So I'll have two options, which I can select one of them. So we do offer virtual cards and we offer physical cards. So both of them, you can add them to your digital wallet. You can actually use them in e-commerce. You can purchase via POS devices and so on. But the main difference, if you would like your employee to use cash withdrawal or withdraw cash, you can go ahead and select physical card. But based on my experience, most of my clients actually prefer using virtual cards because you can issue them and activate them immediately, and you can use it right away. So I will select virtual card. You can even change the color of your sci-fi card. Okay, say but why not? I will click continue, and I will have this option to add a label. Maybe let's say marketing campaigns. Why not? Or let's say marketing. Okay, continue. So in this step, you will actually, a list will be shown to you with all of your employees in the platform. That's why I do recommend that you make sure that all of your users that you have invited to the platform, they must accept the invitation. They must activate their account. Either way, they won't appear to you in the list of employees that you want to issue the card for. So for example, I want to issue the card for Ilham, let's say. Okay, so this card is for Ilham. Okay, so right now I'll be selecting which source I want my card to be linked to. So when it comes to sci-fi's cards, we don't. It doesn't have actually real cash or real money. You have a limit, and based on that limit, you can link the card to a source. And we do have two types of sources here at Sci-Fi. You have the option to link it to a team budget or maybe to your main account. So it can use the source, the money in your or the amount that you have actually funded the wallet with earlier. So I will select main account for now, and I can set a limit. And I do recommend setting a limit because, for example, if you have issued this card to your employee and you link it to your main account in Sci-Fi, and you have funded the wallet with a very large amount of cash, for example, 100K, 200K, and you issued the card as no limit, the employee can use all of the amount that is available to him. So by setting limit, you can set a restriction. You can control the cash fluidity by that. So for example, I want Ilham to be spending 7K as a limit. I can actually set a recurrence cycle. For example, do I want it to be a one-time thing? So Ilham will be using the 7K for maybe office supplies or marketing campaigns or so on. And after she actually get done of this project, she can get back to me and ask for more limit. Or maybe I do prefer, or maybe this project has a time limit, and I want to specify a time period for it. Maybe it's a weekly project. Okay, so I can maybe add weekly. I can set a period of time for that. uh, so right now Ilham, she have 7K that will be renewed weekly at Saturday after 12 a.m. I can select monthly. Maybe I can add 50K. Why not? I can add 50K for maybe this project that I want this limit to be renewed monthly. I can select monthly, I can select yearly, I can actually specify a specific date that I want my limit to be renewed on that specific date. So this is regarding the recurrence cycle, and I can add a specific expiry date. Our cards actually expires after 5 years, but you can add an expiry date even if it was within 24 hours. It's depends on your own needs. I can select the date that I want this card to be expired. Maybe I have this employee who's holding this project temporarily for a specific period of time. So I will add an expiry date for it. Okay, so once we have actually set our limit and so on, we will have we will be selecting our restrictions. You can add restrictions to sci-fi card, and that's what makes our cards special, that you can control it. You can tailor the card based on your own needs. For example, let's say that I want to add a restriction based on countries. So I don't want Ilham to be using the card outside of Saudi Arabia, for example. So I will add allowed. I will allow her only to use the card inside of Saudi Arabia. So I was selecting Saudi Arabia. So right now, Ilham, she can use the card freely in Saudi Arabia. But if, for example, if she went to Bahrain or any other country, the card will be declined immediately because I have blocked all of other countries, and vice versa. Maybe there is a business trip that Ilham is going on, and I want to restrict, nearby countries. Maybe if she's going to United Kingdom, and I want to restrict maybe Ireland, I can select that, or I can maybe allow all countries. It depends on your own needs. I can even add restrictions based on merchant category. For example, I remember I had this I had this client who used to deal with couriers. And I remember that he didn't want them to use the card in airlines or hotels. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they use it? So I just advised them to toggle that off. You can toggle that off easily if you don't want the employee to actually use the card in this specific category. So I just toggled airline, hotels, and you have a very, very long list of more than 15 categories here at Sci-Fi. You can toggle it off, you can toggle it on, based on your own needs once again. So this is regarding merchant categories. You can even add restrictions based on the type of purchase. For example, I have issued physical cards for my employee, a physical card, for example, but I don't want him to actually use cash withdrawal. I don't want him to withdraw cash. I can just simply toggle that off, ATM withdrawal. Right now, he can't use the card in any ATM machine. Or maybe I want to specify a specific withdrawal limit per day. So the thing with sci-fi cards, so a nice fact actually, that sci-fi cards considered as business cards, which means that you don't have to stick with the 5K limit per day. I mean, because our cards are considered to be business cards, you can actually withdraw cash until 20, 30K, but you just have to make sure that the ATM machine has enough money or has enough amount of cash. So, anyways, so I have actually a limit of 7K that we have set it to Ilham, but I don't want her to actually withdraw all of the 7K one day. I want to add or specify a limit per day, maybe 500. So right now, Ilham, if she wants to withdraw cash from an ATM machine, any ATM machine, she can't withdraw more than 500 riyals. Even when it comes to POS, I can even specify a limit for purchase. Okay, so she have 7K, but maybe I can specify how much is the amount that I want her to purchase from any POS machine. You can toggle POS devices off. You can control the ATM withdrawals, online payments. We do have also foreign transactions. For example, I can restrict her from using using Sci-Fi card in any website that is considered to be outside of Saudi Arabia. Okay, so once I have actually selected my options and I have added my settings, everything is fine, everything is okay, I can just click on create card. So once I click on create card, it will move immediately to pending actions, to Ilham, to my employee. So as an employee, I will have this notification that, for example, the admin or the finance manager has created a card for me. So I can go to pending activation, and for example, I can view my card, and I can click if it was a virtual card. I can activate it immediately by receiving a phone call. Same process as any bank here in Saudi. If it was a physical card, I will have this option. Just let me, okay. Physical card, I will click on confirm just so I can confirm my address. So my shipping address, sorry. And once I confirm my shipping address, I can track my shipment. And once I receive my physical card, I will have the option to activate it. And the main reason that we added this policy, or this thing that you can only activate cards, physical cards, when you receive them, so we can actually avoid any fraud. I mean, if you have the option to activate your physical card and you haven't even received it yet, it will cause a major problem in the platform. So this is regarding cards. So once the card is activated of your employee or your own card, it will appear in all cards section. So we'll take a look. Just a moment. The platform is uploading. Okay. So for example, I have Atif. MashaAllah, he has many cards. So I can view the cards in this way. The name of the employee. Okay. The last four digits of the card. Is it a virtual card, a physical card? How much he spent, and what is the limit of the card? Is it no limit? Is it, for example, 500? Is it one time? And which source it's linked to? Is it to maybe the main wallet, or maybe to a team budget, a specific team budget? If I clicked on my card, or the card that I want to actually edit, I can set a new limit. I can edit the limit that I have set it before previously. I can change the period of time. I can maybe increase the limit, decrease the limit as I desire. Maybe the employee went on an annual vacation, and I don't want him to use my card. Sorry, his card. I will just lock it temporarily until he's back, and then I will unlock it once again. Maybe the card got lost. Maybe I can just cancel it immediately, and I will add the reason for this cancellation. Is it fraud? Is it lost? Has it been stolen? يعني غشر. And maybe the employee just left the company. So this is regarding cards. So right now, if anything, if Sci-Fi card has been used to make any transaction or any purchase, all of these transactions will appear to you in the expenses section. So we will go to expenses. Okay. Oops. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we will go to expenses, and we can view all of the expenses here. The employee will have the option to actually upload receipts, add a note to the expense, and I can download even reports on these expenses. So I can for downloading reports, I will click on dashboard, the main page, and I will click on reports section. So I have different type of reports I can download. We have an expenses audit report, which is, for example, if you would like to have to download all of the expenses and their attachments, which is receipts in this case. So I have here in details the expense, and the other page I have the attachment that the employee has attached. I can even download a balance confirmation certificate, and it will be digitally stamped by Sci-Fi. I can download an account statement, and we have two different types of account statements. We have an advance statement, which shows the cycle of the transaction cycle, and we have a simplified statement, which doesn't show the transaction cycle, but it shows refunds and reversed transactions. I can select my desired period of time, and I can generate this report. So this is regarding reports. So I want right now to create an approval policy. I can simply just go to configuration, approval policy. So right now I have the option to create an approval policy. I click on create custom policy, test policy, because why not? I will have the option, do I want to apply this policy on a certain team budget? If in this case I created team budgets, I can select more than one team budget to apply this policy on. Or maybe I want to select all team budgets, including the main wallet. So I'll be selecting all budgets. Continue. Right now I'll have the option to actually select which request I want to create this policy for. For example, transfers, expenses, a reimbursement request, physical card request. I'll be selecting all in this case. Right now, I will have this option for submission policy, which is the type of submission I want to apply this policy for. For example, we have receipts. Maybe I want to have a request, an approval request, whenever one of my employees, or the finance manager, for example, is making a transaction or a transfer. Okay, so if he's making a transfer, I want it to be mandatory that he must attach a receipt, so I can know why this transfer is going for whom and why you are making this transfer. I can even make it mandatory to expenses. For example, every purchase that you, every transaction or purchase that you do by using Sci-Fi card, it's mandatory to attach your receipt because I want to know. And I can even, this is really a nice feature. You can even set a card lock. For example, within 5 days, let's say, within 5 days, if you haven't, as an employee, if you haven't attached your receipt to your expenses, your card will be locked automatically. I can even add 1 day as 24 hours. So it depends on your own needs. When it comes to line items, I do prefer, or I do advise you to actually select the optional, because at the end of the day, our AI in the platform will be scanning these receipts, and it will be actually including line items immediately or automatically in your expenses or transfers. Even regarding notes, for example, I can select whether I want it to be mandatory or optional. For example, why you're making this transfer, or why you want to increase your card limit. I want to know, I need to know. Mandatory. I can select whether I want it mandatory or optional based on my needs. So the final step is to set a specific amount. For example, from 0 real until 10K. For example, I want my accountants to review it so they can get actually to receive the approval request. So I'll be selecting my two accountants here. Let's change Fatma and Muhammad. And then I can add a second level, which is, for example, I want to select the finance manager, Alia, let's say. So I want this request to be received first to my accountants so they can review it. And once one of them approve it, or maybe I require that all of them approve this transfer transaction or expense, then it will be received to my finance manager as an approval policy. Higher amounts, maybe I can add a second role. For example, for higher amounts, more than 10K, infinite amount, and so on, I want I want my finance director to receive this request so he can review it. So I can add Ilham, for example. Once everything is good to me, I can just click continue, and I will review my selections here. Once everything is fine, I can just go ahead and create the policy. And once I create my policy, it will be applied on all of the upcoming requests, not the previous ones. So this is regarding approval policies. So Muhammad, we can go to the questions right now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
Yeah, thank you so much.
Donna, for this really clear and really great demo. And we did answer many questions, and we added them on the public section on the Q&A section
Mm,
of the master class.
okay.
And find the answers that we had. If you click reply, you will see that button that says one reply. If you click that, you'll see the answer that for the questions that we answered. And we do have a lot of other questions, so we'll try to get to a
Mm,
few of them before we close here.
okay.
And first question looks like, can I export reports in PDF format? I believe this is possible. Yes, Donna?
Yes, you can actually. So you can export reports in two different formats, which is Excel, of course, or CSV, and in PDF formats
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
And is it possible to auto approve all requests?
Yes, you can actually do that. Do you want me to share my screen? What do you think? Just
Yeah, I think this is exactly what you were just showing, right? For the approval policy, if you
yeah.
choose to auto approve all your requests, then that's the setting that you're choosing.
Yes, I can. I can. There will be a box for so you can check it, which is that I want maybe auto approvals for this type of expenses or this amount.
Yeah. And can we send a copy of a report to an external email address within our company?
Yes, we can. So we can go to the dashboard reports. You will have this. You actually see this email icon, which is sharing. You can share it to a specific email. For example, this is my email here at the platform. You can add another email
Yeah.
also.
And
Yeah.
what about funding our sci-fi cards, funding the sci-fi card?
So you won't be funding cards, you will be funding your sci-fi account or the wallet. For
Mm.
example, you can click on add fund and you will see this IBAN number would be generated to your account specifically, and you can make a transfer so you can top up the wallet. After that, you can create a card and you can add the limit. You can set the limit and then you can link it to your main account or a team budget in this case.
Yeah, wonderful. I think this is it for now. We don't want to take too much of everyone's time. And we did answer many questions, and you can see, and you can still access those once we end the master class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of these questions are repetitive and might be questions that you're wondering as well. So you can find our answers there. And with that, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you, Donna, for your time and for the wonderful demo. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Once we end the masterclass, please go ahead and click that form survey link and rate the session and leave us your feedback. Shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes of your time. Thank you
Mm.
again, and I'll see
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It was really nice to do this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. See you next month.